Hello y'all on YouTube, this is Rob with Rob's Nerdy Knives. Today we have part 2 of a Mr. Eddy unboxing. This is the second knife in of 3 knives that Mr. Eddy sent to the channel. You probably already saw part 1 that was released earlier. I don't know when it is based on what content I have slated, but this is part 2 and we're looking, I believe, at a Microtech. I kind of remember the 3 knives that he was gracious enough to allow the channel to check out. There are 3 knives I have not handled yet. I was interested in a couple of them, I've been on the fence for. So let's see what we got here and let's take a look. All right, so this one, as you can tell, this looks like this is the one made overseas. So what do we have here? This is the Socom Bravo Mini. All right, so I've always been very interested, is the Mini, because a lot of the Microtech knives I like, but they're so big. They're really big. And I find that to be not able to handle them. You know, some people who have giant hands love the giant knives. I get it, and that's probably a great thing for you when they're big. But here's the Socom Mini. All right, so it's definitely smaller. I can see that within my grip. It's got a unique shape. It is right hand tip up only. All right, so we got some big thumb studs on there. Very unique shape up here, which, I mean, in some ways, I guess if you needed a punch tool, you know, there you go. And I think some of them actually come with a glass breaker. So I could see that. Can definitely have that. All right, so let's see. How does the thumb stud work? Let's give it a flip. Okay, this is the serrated version. Wow, that's pretty thick. All right, so it's got a nice fuller, which would be cool if you could access it and use it. To me, it's like, oh, that's cool. Definitely nice jimping all the way around, very aggressive jimping. So if you've got gloves, you'll definitely be able to grip a hold of that. Now, here I've got large hands with big meaty fingers, and so I've got extra room. So I think extra large hands with big meaty fingers. If you, my size hands, if you have extra large hands with regular size fingers, double extra large hands with smaller size fingers, you get this about your grip. So think about this one. This is an extra large, maybe if you're about 3.5 fingers, a double extra large with big meaty fingers. The jimping on here is very, very aggressive, and it's not easy to go over. It feels like you really need a glove. So this is definitely an aggressive knife. Okay, let's see here. So we got steel bar insert, titanium, carbon fiber. It's not bolstered. The full frame is right there. So interesting. Let's see. It's got a unique shape there for that. It's, like I said, it's got a fuller. I know that these are typically hand ground, these serrations. That's interesting. And you can sort of see that a little bit, I think. I don't know if that's machined or not, but they're pretty sharp. Very aggressive, thick blade. All right, so let's see. You do have a nice cutaway. It's a little chamfering on there. Let's see, is it easy to get to? And how does it drop? All right, so it does drop right there, so that's nice. This one could be tuned. There's no access to the fuller. And ooh, well, I guess I could sort of get to the fuller right there, but you might as well use the thumb studs because at that point, that's what you want to use. So the thumb studs look like they are the blade stop. Yeah, they are. They're the blade stop. Okay, so very cool. This one's not quite tuned, you know, yet. It's a little slower roll. Let's see, where is the detent? All right, so do we have a ramp that we're going over on this one? I can't tell. Is there a ramp? Yeah, there is a little slight ramp. So you can see that right there. There's a little ramp on where the detent ball goes over. But it's not, I mean, it's not super easy, but you can definitely see it as it comes up on the ramp. You'll see how there's a slight, kind of a slow move. It's not just a quick pop. It's not a long ramp. It's a very short ramp, but it makes it a little smoother going over. Nicely centered, definitely centered. Really tight tolerances. I like that. Left hand, easy to thumb flick. How about, if I hold a clip, let's do it again. You can do the reverse flick. Can I do it up a little higher? And I gotta be careful because it's a little smaller, so there you go. Yeah, the frame lock is definitely accessible there. Yeah, that fuller is just purely aesthetic, which is a kind of a bummer because it would be nice. That fuller just feels like a waste. All right, it's a cool looking knife, but I don't collect knives just because it's like, oh, this is a classic. Everyone should have one of these. I don't do that. I did that in the beginning of my knife collection, and I thought that was really cool. And there's some knives you buy because everyone said, oh, you gotta get this knife. And yeah, they weren't for me, right? I decided I'm gonna buy knives that I carry, that I enjoy. I don't care if people say that you should definitely have it in your collection. Sorry, I'm all scratched up. I just realized from my cat, not my cat, my sister-in-law's cat. He went to town on my hand when we were playing, and I didn't realize he's a kitten, and he just scratched me all over. Anyways, but It is cool. I like the shape of it. I can see where it might work, but man, this is really aggressive. The serration's cool, especially if you're out and really needing to cut some stuff. Definitely locks up. It is, yeah, it's definitely classic. I mean, I would absolutely tune this thing so it'd be more drop shut. I don't know what size skiff cage bearings goes in this one. I don't know if they're the 8mm ones like everything else. It does seem like a big pivot. It doesn't look like it's a captive pivot. This looks like a T15 maybe. And these all look like T8s, I'm gonna guess. You know what? Let's take a look. All right, so here's the T10. I think this is a T15 right here. I'm just gonna go, I'm thinking it's a T15 right away. No, maybe it's a T10. Okay. I wouldn't have guessed that. T10. Yeah. I mean, there's room in there, which is kind of weird. What do we got over here? There's another T15. Let's see if does that fit a little better. Okay, so it gets on the top of it. Okay, the T15 fits in really nicely there. And it fits in there. It just doesn't go super deep. It's almost like you need the security T15. And I thought I had a security screwdriver that I bought. Where did I put it? Hold on one second, guys. All right, I'm back. So I got this one. And I don't know if this would fit a little bit better. It's a T20. Let's do T15. T15. Let's see if that fits a little bit better. Yeah, that goes in a little bit more. It's a little more rounded at the bottom. Yeah, so probably a T15. Okay. So it's a T15, probably need more of the security with the rounded bottoms, right? Which is a thing and works a little bit better apparently. So there we go. All right, we'll put this back. Very cool. All right, I use Weha bits and Weha stubby drivers, and that little kit right there is something I found on Amazon to kind of hold all my bits together. I like it. May not be for you, but I dig it. It makes it convenient for me to have everything. Action is nice. I can see it being very fidgety. It's kind of cool. It's definitely, it's different. And I'm, you know, I always review and experience a knife for its intended purpose and its intended audience, which may not be me, right? If you make a smaller knife, there's a different group of people you're dealing with. And to me, Microtech, when it makes to their folding knives, whether they're automatic or not, I feel like they're made for people that always wear big, thick gloves, do outside heavy, crazy hard use kind of thing. I feel like that's what, like the MSI, the Stitch, the Socom Elite, the Socom Mini, you know, all the different knives that they have are always feel like they're made for these big, giant, burly, over industrious, super crazy, tactical, whatever, crazy work. And which is not me. I mean, I like to EDC some of these knives, and some of these could make great EDC knives if some of them were smaller. And I'm glad they made this smaller, but it's different. I'm glad I experienced it. I never experienced the regular Socom or the Mini. The Socom regular one, which is like what 9 or 10 feet long. I mean, sorry, 9 or 10 inches long. It feels like 9 or 10 feet long from the way people describe it and how big it is. And granted, there's a market for it because they sell well. People love them. Some people love those big, giant, crazy Microtech knives. I get it. I love some of my crazy knives. You probably think, what the heck? Why do you have like 15 Spydercos? I dig them, right? I get it. I like Spydercos. Some of you guys hate Spydercos. I totally get it. But I can tell you that the Reich did a great job. The quality is absolutely stunning. Interesting little little explosion thing there. There's a Microtech M390. This is before the M398, so this is kind of an earlier version. Interesting. It's got that satin finish there and the bead blasted as well. So very cool, very cool. This is made in, I believe this one's made in China with Reich. So Reich knives. I don't know if they're still going to keep making knives for them, but this is definitely pretty cool. Pretty cool. I like this knife. Again, I like it for what it is and what it is. Now, there's no choke up. You cannot choke up there. I don't think that's a safe spot to choke up on. I would just stay right here at best. You could do some push down here, but man, that is just crazy aggressive jimping. Yeah, all right. So that's my first impression. This is my first thoughts. This is not a review. This is me just kind of giving you my experience. And I'm going to handle this knife for about a week to kind of get some deeper thoughts on it. It's a loaned knife. It's not my knife. I didn't buy this knife. When someone loans me a knife, I use it carefully. Okay, loan knives are not knives I abuse and beat up and do crazy things with. I use them as, you know, I'll flick them, I'll handle them, I'll fidget with them. I may cut a piece of paper. Like in this case, we can probably cut a piece of paper. So let's see. All right, the serrations. I mean, it's a thick blade, so it cuts, but you can see it definitely rips. You know, it's not a slicer kind of type of blade. It does cut, and the serrations does cut. So, you know, there you go. It does that. Probably could be stropped or something, or, you know, sharpened. I'm sure this is a user knife for Mr. Eddy, but I don't know. Maybe he just likes to have it and keep it in his collection, which he has knives in his that are just collection pieces. I get it. So very cool. All right, so we're gonna take about a week, handle it, kind of get our thoughts on it, get a feel for it. At least a few days. I like to. Maybe a few days if I focus on one knife at a time. I say a week because I've got usually about anywhere from 5 to 10 knives that I'm handling and trying to get a review out for and get back to people, or doing a pass around or return to somebody, right? So those are knives that take priority over the knives that are in my collection that I haven't done reviews on, which I have quite a few that I need to do reviews on. But this is cool. This is cool. Thank you, Mr. Eddy, for letting me check it out. Yeah, I'll just some more thoughts on it. First impressions are nicely made, great quality. Aggressive jimping, definitely seems to have a very tactical mindset. Feels like it, you know, this is meant for people with gloves, probably smaller hands with gloves, you know. The serration's a great tool for cutting ropes and getting through, you know, things that you need to get through. So it's like got a great saw property to it. I'm not always a big serration sort of fan for just an everyday kind of carry. I think serration is great for certain situations. If you're camping, you're working on a boat or something, right, where you need a serration. I get it. But I would have probably, if I buy something like this, if this was something that appealed to me, like for my collection, not that it didn't appeal to me for quality and the design and the intent, just, you know, for something to make it into my collection, I have certain expectations or certain things that I want, and it's my collection. I choose what's in my collection. I don't add things to my collection because someone may send me a free knife or give me tell me, hey, you know, would you like to check this knife out? No. If it's in my collection, it means I bought it, right? 99% of those I've bought. Sometimes I get gifts, and they're amazing, and I'm blown away. But like these knives right here, I bought this. I'd heard a lot about it, and I really felt strong about it, and I was able to buy this, and I love it. I love it. This is a great knife. It's in my collection because I choose it to be. This one was one of those, I was on the fence, and I'm glad I was on the fence because now I've experienced it, and I can tell you, my initial impressions are it's a great knife. It's well made. It's got a lot of potential, but it feels very, very specific, very laser focused on a very unique group of people who like this knife. Now, it may be more people who think it's interesting and just have it in their collection. Totally fine. But for me, it's interesting, and we'll do a review. All right. Hey, if you found this content fun, interesting, worthwhile, or informative, would you please consider hitting that like button down below? And if you've already hit that like button, would you please consider hitting the subscribe button as well down below? Subscribing and liking the channel and the videos really helps out. It helps me produce more content, do more things, ultimately do more things for you guys. So thank you. Thank you to everyone who's out there, who watches the videos, who likes the videos, who subscribes, who's part of the live stream, who's just part of the whole community there. I appreciate you so very much. I do. So thank you. Thank you to every one of you. And if you haven't already, maybe also consider hitting that notification button down below as well, so you can be notified of future content like this video. Love to have you check out more stuff. So thank you. Also, a big shout out, a big thank you to all my channel members. And the reason why I want to say thank you to them is because the channel members have been so encouraging. I don't do this full time. I have a full-time job. I do this on the side for fun as part-time. I love it. I love the community. But there's times when work is overwhelming and I feel like, I just need a break. And the channel members really encourage me to keep going. And so I've not stopped because of many of the channel members out there, and I really appreciate you guys. So thank you. And you've been so generous with the membership. So as a result, I want to be generous back to you. I do two things for the channel members. I do a once a month members exclusive giveaway, and I send any brand new channel member a channel member sticker and a little thank you note. The members giveaway each month is not just a budget banger giveaway, which I love to do each week for everybody, but I also like to make sure that each month the members get a little nicer knife, right? Not just a little budget knife that's super cool, because I like to only give away things that I think are cool, right? I will give away things that I think, people have given to me to give away. I'll do that. But if I buy something and I get it part of my collection, it's because I bought it. I went out to look for it, to acquire it. So that being said, I just want to let you know for the members, that's going to be the case. I'm going to usually do something nice for you guys. So yeah, if that sounds interesting, you go, hey, I'd like to become a channel member, either because, hey, I like the idea of that cool giveaway. Oh, I like the sticker. I really want a channel member sticker. Or, hey, I just like the channel. I'd love to support the channel. I'd love to have you. There's a link down below in the description, 3 different tiers. I have a, just being a regular member, you get exclusive little emojis and stuff. You get the once a month members giveaway, but the 2 other tiers, there's extra stuff, extra early content, extra things that you get. The Uber nerds, you get a exclusive sticker. So, there's stuff like that for you guys out there. I just want you to know that. So thank you. Thank you to all of you guys out there for that. Hey, if you haven't already, also check me out over on Instagram at robs_nerdy_knives. Again, that's on Instagram at robs_nerdy_knives. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day and a great week.